creativity, analytical ability, the forecasting the future like us, right? So both arrows goes top to bottom and bottom up both ways in an
Yes, yes.
organization.
Mm.
Yes, thank you very much. Since you told that one,
Likewise,
I could explain that part as well.
likewise, roles also we have. I think we have the role for the three categories: interpersonal or informational or decisional, but not always.
Hmm.
Sometimes, as a financial section head, I have to figure out my financial sections.
Hmm.
Leader also at that time. So interpersonal,
Second paper. I got
we have to
20
act as
30.
we have to roll up the
27
interpersonal
course which I wrote so good.
also.
For
Then
OVA training,
informational
writing abilities, that was
also
such a
come
messed
under
up answer. I got 20 out of 30.
my
Then my
level, I
increase in
think,
my
because
I don't
the
know.
receiving information and
That
sending
that's
Wait, wait.
information to the other people's.
ask kara.
Mm,
Turns out you don't have to pay.
Likewise,
Only you have to
decisional
pay for
roles
literature,
also
which is
there.
around 40 reals or something
We
per
have
day.
to resource allocation or budget allocation, everything
Per
we have to
subject,
do
not pay.
Mm-hmm.
as I am in the middle level, but I think I have to act
And
for three roles.
for anthology in
Yes.
literature, I got something 24 or 30.
Okay.
That will
Thank you
increase
very much,
because
Kirupasaran.
that's
Thank you
also
so
one of the
much
best
for
answers I've
Thank
written.
you.
showing
I
us
don't know.
how
So
to
when I write
apply
good,
the things to
Nothing
your
the
job and
lecture.
everything.
This going on.
Anybody else who would like to contribute before moving on to the next part?
no, wait.
No.
Yes,
One
hi, ma'am.
second. So let me just tell
Hello,
you this.
Adil. Yes, please.
Yeah.
So you're telling
So
me if
I
I
actually
write
work
good,
for
if I
a,
think I
a
write good,
multinational
they're
elevator
working bad. Is
company
that
called
what they're
Pune
Hmm.
saying?
Elevator, and I handle mainly the supply of welfare, mainly all the welfare related items like
Arya, he looks like he's trying to.
part of the HR
He
and
looks
part
like
of,
he's
I mean,
reading.
all the consumables that they use and all the equipments that they use. Mainly part of uh, everything that a worker requires,
Hmm.
because the top management, yes, we are, our main office is in UAE, and part of the management is in Finland, so it's a large company. So the top management is mainly not here. So the middle management would be us, and then the lower would be the technicians. So
Hmm.
I am handling most of the supply. If you say, for example, in here in the Middle East, we need the QID. So we mainly the whatever the documents that they want for the QID is being handled by me. And then moving forward, they require all the uniforms and they require the tools. So from that point, I'm part of the supply team. So I'm handling a fraction of the sourcing as well.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
yeah, so if you look at some of the goals, I represent the organization at certain business exhibitions that are there here in Qatar.
Hmm.
So sometimes we have to go and portray ourselves to whichever vendors and suppliers that are there, to get a proper pricing and show our requirement to them. Uh, and the other thing is, I have a few workers and employees that are under me. Mainly, it's the warehouse team. Uh, so I have to act as a leader also with them.
Hmm. Hmm.
I also have to act as a leader with my suppliers, my vendors, and those freight forwarders, and also ensure that the distribution channel doesn't have any hiccups due to
Yeah.
situations that are there.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I believe that I act as a liaison. I have the liaison role as well, because I maintain relationships with vendors. I go for meeting and greeting with them. We have discussions about future trends and future activities that could harm our business, as well as might be able to gain something also in the future.
Hmm.
So the other thing is about monitoring. Yes, we always have to, since we are an international company and we are based in an international zone, we do have a lot of interference happening around.
Hmm.
So we always have to be with the closely to the government and check on what our neighboring countries are also doing, because it also affects us. Because
Uh-huh. Yeah.
yeah, we are part of the, since it's Qatar, our whole Middle East is one now, and UAE, UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Bahrain, Kuwait are all, we all merged together. So if whatever affects Saudi is going to affect us, now
Oh,
with
yeah.
the FIFA and everything. So
Mm.
uh, disturbance handler, yeah, mainly we have issues. We have issues with distribution channel, and sometimes there are price hikes due to government issues and all,
Mm.
and global issues, mainly global issues.
Mainly global, yeah.
Yeah, so I have to address those issues to the higher top management, so that we could
Mm.
actually
Mm.
shift from one channel to the distribution channel to another distribution channel.
Mm.
And yeah, resource allocating, I have been given a budget, and that budget is mainly based on whatever targets that we whatever profits that we expect to be there, to be coming up in the future.
Mm.
So I have to allocate my resources accordingly to match those profits and match the future targets. We might have future projects also coming up,
Mm. Mm.
but so we have to allocate our resources accordingly.
Mm.
And of course, negotiate with suppliers happens like every time. I'm now also negotiating with the supplier. Yeah, so that is what I believe I am doing.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Adil. I think your explanation was very, very elaborative and you explained every aspect, which is really good. So I invite all our other learning partners and colleagues to apply the things in that manner. Apply each and every concept to your role and do not fear to even challenge the theory, right? So if theory says like this and if doesn't happen in your company at your role, so you can commonly argue, right? Not openly argue. You can say even though theory says like that, yeah, according to the practical situation, this is what happened in our organization. This is what happened in our in my role. So please keep practicing that way. Understand the theory, apply it, demonstrate that you understand the theory and you have the ability to apply it to your practical world of work. Then finally, come up with your critical tone. Whether you agree with the things, whether you disagree with the things, whether you have suggestions for further improvements. Please, even when you write the answers for not only for the project, for your final exams, even at your presentations, throughout this journey, have that practice, okay, when developing your answers. Thank you very much for everyone who contributed. So I believe others will also contribute at the final part of the lecture as well. So then I'll again move to the paint canvas just to show you one other thing. And something that I wanted to tell you again is, remember, even though this hierarchy is drawn like this, even though these decisions, instructions, plans may be communicated from top to bottom, it's very important to flow information, information, feedback, creative ideas, suggestions from bottom up as well. That's important, right? Therefore, in an organization, we have both vertical relationships and also horizontal relationships. Vertical relationship means the relationships that we have between departments. Oh, not sorry, not the departments, between the layers, between management layers, the relationships that you are having, we identify them as vertical relationships. Horizontal relationships, we identify them as the interrelationships that you are having within a same layer. That means between departments. Now the marketing department, HR department, accounting department, all of us, I mean, all these managers are working under the middle layer. So between them, across those departments, we are having relationships. For them, we call horizontal organizational relationships, and between the layers, we identify them as vertical relationships. Anyway, all these vertical and horizontal relationships are highly, highly, highly important for the success of the organization. Both top down, bottom up, vertical, horizontal, all the relationships do matter, right? So, with all these skills, layers, and everything, what a manager does, he or she performs management process. So, we have to understand management is a process. Process means it has interrelated, interdependent components. Process is a collection of interrelated and interdependent components. So that means all the components in that process are connected with each other. The function of one component is highly important for the function of the other component. They are dependent on each other and they are related to each other. They are working together. By working together, they achieve the final goal, final target of the entire process. Like it's like the our systems inside the body. So by combining all the systems of our body works. Inside in a each and every system also there are different components. Right? Think about our digestive system. There are different components in that system, and that entire system contributes to the better functioning of the body, the whole body. So process means something like that. It's a collection of systems, collection of components which are interrelated and interdependent and working together towards a common goal. So likewise, this management is also a process because it has four functions, four components working together. They are interrelated and interdependent, and they are working together to achieve the final goals and objectives of the organization. Right? This management process, as I explained you, it starts with planning, then it goes to organizing, then it goes to leading, then it goes to controlling, and at controlling, it doesn't stop. This management process is not a linear process which starts from planning and ends with controlling. No, it's not linear, it's a circular process. Why? After controlling, again it goes to planning. Now assume that now you have planned and you have executed, you have allocated resources, you have developed departments, and you have communicated the goals to employees, you have motivated them, and now the organization starts functioning. At the end of the first month, you are evaluating performance, your sales, your profit, employee performance. Likewise, whether you have legal consequences, legal disputes, whether you have ethical concerns, whether you have environmental issues. Likewise, you evaluate your performance in every aspect of the organization. That is controlling stage. At that controlling stage, you identify discrepancies, the differences or the gap between your plan and your actual performance, gap between your desired, expected performance and the actual performance. Then what you have to do? You have to correct it, right? You have to take corrective actions, corrective measures. Or sometimes you will have to change your plan, entire plan. So controlling provides a feedback for the plan as well. Therefore, management is not a linear process, it's a circular process. All the functions are connected to each and everything. So under planning, you decide what to do and how to do the things. Under organizing, you identify the tasks to be performed, resources required, and how to allocate different tasks and resources to different people and jobs and departments, and how to coordinate it. All those things are considered under organizing. Then you then you motivate people, communicate with people, you push people towards this decided common goal. Then time to time you compare actual performance with the expected performance and take corrective action. This is the management process. By playing these four functions, I mean by playing this entire management game only, you will be able to achieve common goals and objectives of the organization by utilizing resources efficiently and effectively. So this is the management process, right? So from next week onwards, we'll be discussing these four functions separately. Planning, organizing, leading, controlling, we can discuss them separately. So when we develop all these management concepts, right? I'm going to stop sharing. If you just want, you can take a screenshot or you can just draw this. So when these management concepts are evolving, it has a history. So like human civilization evolution, these management concepts also have evolved throughout the history. So at this final half an hour of our lecture today, I'll just tell you the historical journey of management and what's the current state and what will happen next. Likewise, the journey of management will decide. So it's like a story, even at the very primitive stages of human civilization, management was there. Not business management, but management. Think about that Vedda system, pastoral system, hunter-gathering system. So people, human being, they got together. They had common objective. It's a very primary thing that to survive, eat, and have shelter, water, and having sex, having kids, the very basic primary requirements. Even at that time, management concepts were there because they were working as a team, they were having common objective to hunt the things and come back and eat what they hunted together. Likewise, and there were leaders appointed for different tribes. Likewise, small management concepts were there, seen naturally, inherently they were there. Then think about the shift from agricultural era to industrial era, especially with industrial revolution. The people were farming for their own consumption. Then thereafter, farming was expanded for commercial purpose. At the same time, with the industrial revolution happened in Europe, many factories, many industries were developed. So even though people were producing the things for their own consumption before then, they started manufacturing those things at large scale with a commercial purpose, with a profit motive to sell the excess to others and earn something. Then the people who were cultivating at rural areas, they came to urban areas, they employed at factories, and that is how capitalism, profit motives, and all those things started. That was a turning point of the management discipline as well. With factories and everything, people wanted a theoretical kind of technical understanding as to how these factories should be managed, how to manage people, how to manage production flow, how to manage the belt system of the production. So with that, scholars, researchers who lived in different countries around the world, across the world, they came up with different theories, concepts regarding management. This is how you should manage employees. This is how you should manage organization. Likewise, different management concepts came into the play. So I'll share the paint canvas again, and if I just jot down the things, if I just note down the things, we identify the main eras of management evolution, such as classical approach of the management. Then behavioral approach. Then management science approach. And thereafter, some recent developments such as systems management, participative management, contingency management, and more importantly and recently, technology-driven organizations. Likewise, management concepts were evolved across the history according to the changes happen. This should be management, right? 1E is right. Okay, so right. So how these changes happen? In this classical approach, actually within the classical approach, we identify some other different theories such as scientific theory, bureaucratic theory, administrative theory. I'm not going to explain those things in detail to you. At undergraduate level, we teach them, but at your level, I'm not going to teach you them in very detailed manner. They are kind of technical and boring part. So instead of explaining these scientific, administrative, bureaucratic theories separately, I'll just explain them under classical approach. So this classical approach actually came into the play with this industrial revolution and when factories were developed in the history. So here under classical approach, it's a very technical approach. That means the scholars who develop this technical classical approach to management, they said, look here, the purpose of organization is to produce at maximum level. So organizations should maximize their productivity, efficiency, effectiveness. For that, employees should be trained properly. The most highlighting theory under this classical approach is the scientific approach, right? So this, I just note that scientific theory is the most highlighting theory under classical approach. So those scholars said, if you want to get the maximum productivity, efficiency, effectiveness for your company, you have to have very technical management system. You have to select your employees in a scientific way. And you have to train them in a very methodical, scientific, technical way. And there should be one best method to perform a task. There are no multiple ways to do a task. That means employees are not allowed to freely and flexibly undertake their roles. They were trained to do the job and they wanted to do the job. They are required to do that job as long as they work in that company. So repetitive tasks were performed by employees across their journey. So specialization concept came into the play with that one. You know, when a particular employee is doing the same task over and over again, when repetitive tasks are done, that person comes specialized in that job. So job specialization, division of labor, those concepts were emerged. The entire production process was categorized or broke down into small activities, and employees were separately assigned to perform those small activities, and repetitively they were doing the same job. So, breaking down the entire production process into small tasks is division of labor. Through division of labor, since employees are performing the same task repetitively, specialization occurred. That's how they wanted to increase the productivity. When a person is specialized in doing a particular task, then wastage defects are minimized. That person's speed of doing the thing is increased, and he or she does it very accurately, and he or she find some shortcuts to short methods to perform that task very efficiently, effectively. So those benefits are there. That's how those factories tried to achieve the productivity. So human concern were very less. Even the relationship between manager and the employees, among co-workers, it was not that healthy. Those characteristics were there in the classical approach. Then, when these things are gradually evolving, scholars understood that, look here, not only under this classical approach, they believed and they identified that employees can be motivated by giving economic rewards, by paying them well for their labor. They can be motivated. But with the time being, there are different what do you call rebels were there, revolutionary acts were there, especially with Russia. Likewise, in those countries, employee movements were there. Likewise, with gradual developments, scholars identified that, okay, just by treating the employees as machines, you won't be able to run any longer. You will have to hit the brake at some point if you consider employees as just machine, and if you think they can be motivated just by giving economic rewards. No, there is a human factor in the organization. They identified it. A major contribution to this behavioral approach is the Hawthorne experiment. Hawthorne experiment. At the Hawthorne plant of the Western Electric Company at Chicago, they performed a series of experiments using employees, by experimenting the behavior of employees. So they revealed a lots of important findings related to the behavior of human beings at work. They identified how people work as groups, how they compromise in order to protect the group members, right? How they behave when a supervisor is there. Likewise, they identified the behavior of people inside an organization. On the other hand, they identified that employees should be treated as a very unique, important resource in the organization. Therefore, the concern for the human factor was emerged at the behavioral approach. Then thereafter, with the World War II, right? After World War II, many mathematical techniques were used for the World War. Thereafter, with that experience, organizations also tried or started to adapt those mathematical systems to manage organization. So, under the management science approach, what is the main idea is mathematical and computerized methods are applied, are adapted under organization business management. So I think currently you may also be using these techniques in your job role. So computerized programs are already there. Mathematical systems such as, let's say, linear programming, simulation, network analysis. Likewise,
5S.
next part. Sorry?
5S method.
Sorry?
5S method.
5S quality concern.
Yeah.
Yeah, so mostly the mathematic parts, Situmini, okay? Not more the quality aspects, but the how max is important in making management decisions. Now, in network or project analysis, you can identify which investment option is more viable, more beneficial, right? So mathematical process helps you to make that management decision. So that practice was started after World War II and it is identified as management science approach. ගණිත කර්ම කොහොමද management decisions ගන්න පාවිච්චි කරේ? How mathematical methods and computerized systems were adapted in making management decisions. That started under management science approach. Thereafter, recently, now we are having some other different recent development. So before going into recent development, just to have a what do you call interesting finish off for the lecture, I'll just show you a video. This video clip is from the movie called Modern Times of Charlie Chaplin, produced in 1936. Charlie Chaplin is well recognized as uh, as an artist who can show us the pathetic side of the society through what do you call comedy. Actually, his films are more towards sarcasm. ඒවා hina වෙන්න විහිළුම නෙමෙයි. උපහාසය තියෙන. He criticized the social system. නිකම්ම මිනිස්සු එයාගේ ඇක්ට් එකට hina වෙනවට වඩා, especially this modern times, through that even though we laugh, behind that he criticized the factory system at that time. So we'll just watch this movie clip and we'll understand how scientific management and classical management approaches were there. How Charlie Chaplin shows it to us from his movie. We'll watch this.
Section 5, give it the limit.
Right? So even without saying a single word, how much he demonstrated the nature of the classical approach, nature of scientific management. Could you see the work environment, the factory premises? It's very technical, and the relationship between co-workers, no harmony between them. The relationship between the supervisor and the employee, and how the employees are treated, and their how it affects their social life, how it affects their mentality, right? And they want continuous production, continuous work, even the repetitive tasks by the same person, that is specialization, division of labor, and everything. Think about the duration of that video clip. A very small video clip, no single word, but nicely he demonstrated the half of the social life and the factory management. Right? Here, there is a very funny video of the same film. I'm not going to show you that. I'll just send the link to your chat. You leisurely watch it after the lecture. Okay? It's a food machine scene of modern times. So it's so I'll put it to the chat to everyone to take this link and watch this part of the movie. It's that the company management wants to introduce a food machine for employees so that their lunchtime can be reduced, reducing the lunchtime and utilize it to the production and enhance the productivity. A level එකට යනවා. කන්න දෙන වෙලාව machinize කරන්න තමයි යන්නේ to improve the productivity, and you just watch what happens to Charlie Chaplin. It's really funny, and even the entire film is available. You can watch it online. Worthy watching. Old movie එකක්, all is gold, so it's worthy watching, right? So that is how the evolution, historical evolution of management thought, management concepts were there. So now we have some recent developments, recent ideas. Systems approach means you see the entire organization as a single whole, as a whole unit. Actually, organization is a system, right? It has all interrelated, interconnected components, both internal and external. Your suppliers, customers, government, media, neighbors of your company, then internally, managers, owners, employees, resources of the company, company culture, everything. All those components together, it creates the organizational performance, or it creates the company as a whole. So this systems approach says that when you are managing the organization, you need to understand that systemic view. You need to have a helicopter view regarding your organization. You need to have a proper holistic picture of the organization. You need to understand how the things are related to each other. And once you do something from this end, what consequences will be there to other components and to the other end of the company. So likewise, considering the organization as a whole, perform your management activities. That is the idea behind systems approach. Then the participative management means you take the participation of your employees, even the lower level employees, for your management decision making, right? So when company structures are getting more flat, when more hierarchical layers were abolished, when people started to work as teams, when human factor was placed high concern, um, scholars, even the practitioners, even the managers understood that getting the participation of all employees is an important factor, is an important factor. On one way, you can motivate them, you can enhance their contribution, their loyalty. On the other hand, you can get very important insights, inputs from them. Their creativity, suggestions, feedbacks, they matter a lot in making correct decision. So participative management means when you solve problems, when you make decision, even when you set performance targets for employees, you take their consent, you take their participation. So that is participative management. Contingency management, that say that we can't have universal management approach to manage all the situation, especially contemporary current business environment is very dynamic, it's changing very quickly, very rapidly, and it's hard to forecast the changes happen even, right? Unpredictable changes are happening at unprecedented rate. Therefore, you can't apply one particular management approach to a particular company. Instead, what managers has to do is you have to adapt or you have to change your management style according to the situation, according to the context. So this contingency approach is named as situational approach as well, either contingency approach or situational approach. So it says according to the situation you adapt your management style. And finally, now we discuss about technology-driven approaches, technology-driven organizations. Of course, digitalization, robotics, AI, we cannot remove them. They are inevitable factors in contemporary organizational life. So there are both pros and cons. So whether it will abolish the employment opportunities. On the other hand, it creates new job opportunities. So are we ready to embrace those new jobs by abandoning the traditional jobs that we played, that we performed across these years? And whether the human factor is really needed in this technology driven organization, yes or no? Whether we can totally remove that human factor just because we are having high end technologies, like this many discussions are going on. So assignment has also placed with this focus, right? So you have to read more regarding this technology driven organizations, their practices, benefits, their challenges, and negative impact. Likewise, you have to refer more. You have to refer to real world examples, real companies like Walmart, Amazon. They are already using this AI and everything to their organizations. Whether they are doing well, whether they have failed, you have to read, you have to research, then you have to apply it to your company and the context you are working, especially to your job role. We are performing this supply chain management, procurement, those things. Whether you can apply these technology thing to your job, whether it's already taken place, whether it's on its way, whether it can be applicable. Like as a critical explanation is expected from you in the assignment as well. However, now we are at this state, how to manage technology driven organization. So on one hand you have to manage technology, on the other hand you have to manage human. So you have to balance the scale, whether it's possible, it's challenging. So those things are discussed in contemporary management discussion. That's why I have put technology driven management approach as the final part of under this recent development. So the slides that I have given to you may be quite different to this. Okay, so you can just refer to slide, you can read it, and my discussion is not solely depend on slides. Some slides are not discussed. Some things that I discussed are not in slides. However, you just refer to both. Read the slides. I understand the concept in the slide. More importantly, pay your attention to the things that I discussed with you. during our interactive sessions, right? So with this, you can take a screenshot or write down this part as well. This is the evolution of management concept. So with that, my part is over. I mean, the theoretical part or the concept that I have to discuss with you and deliver plan for today is over. So finally, I'll open up the forum for you. How you, whether you experience this evolution of management or where are your companies? What kind of management approaches are utilized, employed by your companies, by you, by your role? Please share with me. That is the final interactive discussion that we are going to do for today. Yes? Which management approaches are used by you, your role, your company, you have experienced? Please share with us. Yes, my dear friends, are you sleepy? Oh, are you already sleeping?
In my company, still we are following management science approach. Yeah, we are basically considering that figures, numbers, that how is the invoice volume, how is the sales volume, likewise. But gradually we are trying to move to that latest trends like AI and big data analysis and things.
That means it means your company can move from management science to technology driven. But at the same time, you can use these systems participative contingency as well. It's not like if you follow one approach, you cannot exercise the other one. No, you can exercise them. Multiple approaches can be exercised at once, because even though you are having technology driven approach, still you can have the systems approach, right? Still you can see the organization as an entire whole and make your decisions, right? So according
But,
to
ma'am, according to that management science approach, actually that ERP system also considered as a management science approach.
yes, we can
Correct?
consider it,
Yeah.
but advanced options of that may move you from management science to technology driven.
Yeah.
That's how.
Yeah, actually, that when we are taking that some companies, they are using robots and things
Yes.
for packing and delivering things,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Warehouse operations, especially for warehouse operations.
Warehouses, the Amazon, Walmart, they are classic examples for that.
Yeah.
If
And
you watch the videos of Amazon, it's really amazing.
yeah,
Right? They have developed separate paths for robots and separate paths for human being employee, so that they do not cross each other. And the robots pathways are designed through kind of sensors. According to the sensor, they go to the relevant rack and they pick the relevant item and pack. So that kind of a process is there. That
yeah.
kind of a method is there. So you watch them. It will be important for you to complete your assignment as well.
But when I have experience regarding that automated packaging system, I am dealing with Australian-based suppliers. One supplier has that automated packing system, right? Then, if we order a tiny item like pen, they pack that they are using big box to pack it, because of that automated system they can change the size of
Customizing.
the box. Yeah. Then there is a wastage.
Yes.
Then
I think they should upgrade their technology more so that automatically packaging size should be customized according to the size of the item, right?
actually, I asked them because of that wastage.
Yes,
They
yes.
thought that according to current situation, they are not possible. They
Hmm.
have to use that big box, yeah, that little item also,
Yeah.
that tiny item also.
Yes, that's true. There are many barriers for this technology-driven approach as well. The cost factor, if for them to upgrade their existing system to that, there may be a huge cost
Yeah,
involved in it.
transformation cost is high.
Yeah, it's really high. So you can incorporate all your experience into your assignment as well, according to the requirement of the assignment, right? Just because you are having vast experience, don't write everything.
Yeah.
Just streamline. I'm giving this advice to everyone. Streamline your knowledge and experience to the requirement of the assignment and produce a very practical, very precise report. Okay, anybody else who would like to tell us how these approaches are applied in your companies? Maybe another one or two can take the chance. Anyone who is having this participative management, who are involving even the lower level employees in decision making, meetings, circles, their ideas. Are you sleepy and hungry? Is that the reason you all are very silent? Yeah, Subramaniam, please go ahead.
Yes, I
Yes,
am
both
working in
Subramaniam and Rashmi. Yes, go ahead.
irrigation department. In
Yeah.
our ground level, when the irrigation canals and other irrigation systems are rehabilitated, we get the opinion from the farmers.
Mm-hmm.
Then there are our needs are very much, but our allocation is less. So we have to prioritize the work.
Mm-hmm.
When prioritizing the work, we get the some concurrence from the farmers.
Ah, right.
That's
Based
in the
on
ground level.
based on their information, you are preparing your
Yes,
plans.
the next year, but item should be taken for the repairs or rehabilitation is decided in consultation with the farmers. They are also participating, deciding which item to be taken for rehabilitation next year.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Subramanian. Yes,
Okay.
that's an example for participative management. If rather than top management is deciding the things, you get others' contribution and work according to that. Management decisions are influenced by the participation of other employees. Yes, Rashmi, you were also trying to say something.
Oh yes, in addition to this participative management, actually in our company also the management like to get the ideas of employees. For that, they are having focus group meetings quarterly, and they have female focus groups, especially for women, women empowering. So it's really good in our company, the participative management.
Yeah, thank you, Rashmi, for sharing it. It's a
Yeah.
classic example that having focus groups, it's a
Yeah.
very good characteristic of this participative management. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
sharing it with us, right?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, then finally, anyone who can contribute regarding this contingency approach, maybe within your job role itself, if you have applied this contingency approach, any experience? Apart from the managerial approaches, practices that you have been practiced so far, any situation that you adapted to the situation and changed your management style and approach according to the situation or the contingency? Any experience? Anyone? No. Then think of applying it. From Monday itself, when you go to your work from Monday, think how I can apply contingency approach in my company. Think how I can apply contingency approach within my job role, right? Think and try to apply and try to write it in your assignment as well. After attending the lecture, how you apply this contingency approach, maybe somewhere under your critical explanation, so at the conclusion or whatever it is, if you have tried, write that part as well, so that I also can see how you have applied the things, how you have tried the things, right? So contingency approach, situationally, how you are going to apply your management method. Maybe sometimes you will have to apply bureaucratic method, very tough, very bureaucratic method. Sometimes you will have to apply participative method, very flexible method. Sometimes you will have to apply very human oriented method, sometimes very task oriented method. So whether you have to change that style according to the situation, whether you have done so, whether your company has done so, or whether it's applying the same management technique and same approach, same methods, same practices. So think and try to apply and give me a feedback as well. Okay, so with that, I think this is the high time to stop the lecture. You may be hungry, tired, sleepy, and everything. I don't know whether you're bored with the lecture as well at the final part. So, before concluding, give me a very quick feedback. Are you all okay with today's lecture? Did you understand the concept that we discussed?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, it was really effective. So delivered. It was clearly delivered. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Rashmi.
As well, madam, that you make a very good approach in the teaching method. So this was very helpful to understand what you are telling very easily. So thank you very much, madam. So we hope as it is in the future also.
Okay, thank you very much, Mahesh.
Thank you, madam. Nicely
Actually,
done. Thanks for the explanation.
Thank you, Ashok.
yeah, the last part is because of it is not related to my part. I couldn't understand clearly, so I should go through again. I mean, something I wanted to research this one, and but
Yes.
overall lecture is very clear and it is very interactive session, and it is really appreciating that your way how you are delivering the lecture. It's very nice.
Thank you, Dinesh. So what you can do is you can refer to the slides, again refer to the recording, lecture recording, this part again, and just go through the internet, do some research, then you will easily catch up this, okay?
Yes, it is. Thank you very much.
Okay, okay.
And ma'am, lectures had been organized well, and you have you delivered all information very clearly. And the special thing is you had to talk over 3 hours continuously. I think it is so hard. However, you did it very in a fresh manner.
Thank you so much.
Even
That
though
credit goes to you as well. Without your contribution, I would be dull after 1 hour.
no, actually, this is a very exceptional lecture. You
Thank
did it very
you
well.
so
Thank you
much.
very much, that commitment.
Thank you so much, Situmini. And In the chat also, Siad Ratnayaka Gayan. Okay, thank you for your feedback. Then are you all happy with the things you understood?
Thank you very much, ma'am. It was a
Thank you,
much
Anand.
explain the lecture.
Thank you very much, madam. It is very narrative. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dani. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, madam. It's very clear and well explained. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Chaminda, for your feedback as well. All your feedback matters for me to satisfy at the end of 3 hours that our effort is useful, right? So, on the other hand, thank you so much for all of you as well. If you were not that supportive and interactive, I wouldn't be able to do this in a very successful manner, right? I'm also a human being just talking to a computer for 3 hours, even at night. So thank you very much for being cooperative and being a real MBA class, right? So I expect that you will continue it for the next days as well. Okay, then we'll wind up for the day. Thank you so much again, guys. Good night, everyone, and thank you for all